and this is CNN.
Tonight, embattled Republican Congressman George Santos admitting he's a, quote, terrible liar, saying he made up details about his education and business career so that local Republicans would back his campaign.
I've been a terrible liar on those subjects. It wasn't about tricking the people. This was about getting accepted by the party here local. My credibility is what I'm going to have a hard time and a long road to recover. And I stand clear and I stand certain that I'll be able to do that.
Out front now, Alice Stewart, Republican strategist and former communications director for Ted Cruz, and Ashley Allison, former National Coalitions director for Biden-Harris 2020. Hi, ladies. So, Alice, he admits to being a terrible liar while also claiming he will regain his credibility. What do you even say to that?
Look, Pamela, he is not just a terrible liar, he is a pathological liar. And someone like him is going to lie even when the truth suffices. And here's the shame of all of this. He continues to do these interviews and talk about himself. And if he spent half as much time talking about his legislative priorities as opposed to his litany of lies, he would probably get a little bit more grace. Instead, he is a disgrace to the Republican Party and also to the residents of Long Island who voted him into office. And look, he should do the right thing and acknowledge that his record and resume is full of lies. And I expect it would be nice if the people of Long Island would do the right thing and ask for him for a recall and have him removed from office, because he's not serving the constituents of his district, and he's certainly not serving the Republican Party.
And yet when it comes to what he regrets or has remorse about, he expressed remorse about lying about his education, but he was defiant at times too, Ashley. Let's take a listen to this.
I've become subject of desperate journalists trying to build a journalistic career for them. I'd always say, I was raised Catholic, but I come from a Jewish family, so that makes me Jew-ish.
But again,
it's always been a party favorite. Everybody's always laughed. And now that everybody's canceling me, everybody's pounding down for a pound of flesh.
No, we're just shining a spotlight on the truth about the lies. Does this sound like someone who has been humbled by what's happened to him, Ashley?
Not at all. I mean, this is like a pseudo apology tour without actually apologizing. And then, you know, in order to have redemption, you say that you're not going to do it again. But it's almost like he's lying in this interview. And so it doesn't seem like he really wants us to go away, but he doesn't want to really own up to it. Not in addition to his education, there are other things that he's lied about 9/11 and the Pulse nightclub shooting. The list goes on and on and on. And so in order to really earn your credibility back, you have to stop lying. And he is incapable of doing it and needs to not be in office.
Alice, there was this remarkable moment when Santos was asked why he thought he could get away with such brazen lying. Here's what he said.
I'm just struck, not necessarily that a politician would lie, but that you would think no one would find out.
Well, I'll humor you this. I ran in 2020 for the same exact seat for Congress, and I got away with it then, and I guess...
Right. Well, that's honest.
Stupid.
So you thought, actually, they're not going to find out?
No, I didn't think so.
He thought he could do it again because he'd gotten away with it before. I mean, this just seems like a massive failure on so many levels. Obviously, he is the one ultimately to blame, though. Let's be clear, Alice.
He certainly is, and it's shameful for him to blame the media for shining a light on his lies. He also, at one point, when Pierce did a really good job of pushing him further, he also blamed this on the expectations of society, which forced him to fabricate his record. That's laughable. And look, he should truly be ashamed of himself. He's certainly not someone that any people, certainly in Long Island, look up to as a public servant. And the reality is, he has no one to blame but himself. I wish Nassau County GOP had done a better job of vetting him in the primary process. I've never heard of such fabricated resume getting through. But the end result is that it would be nice if they had a recall, so the focus could be on the policies and not him.
Quick final word to you, Ashley.
He needs to go. He should not. This is not what we want our children and our voters to really be looking up to as an elected official. He is a pathological liar, as Alice said in the very beginning, and should not be in Congress. And somehow we have to get him out of this seat.
All right, good to hear you two agree. Republican, Democrat agreeing on
Surprise!
this, bringing you together. George Santos, Alice Stewart, Ashley Allison, thank you.
Thanks, Pamela.